Well, you know, my mama would be real proud right now, wouldn't she, y'all? Now, I'm telling you, I've never had such a great introduction, and it's really good to be here. But now let's start out just, the importance of democracy. And the reason that we have democracy, the reason we have the right to form and join unions, is because men and women have served and fought and gave their lives for this country. If you are a veteran, stand up, or active military, stand up right now. If you have a son or a daughter, keep standing. A son or a daughter that's a veteran or is in active duty, you stand up right now. If you have a parent, a mother or a father that was a veteran and served this country, stand up right now. If you have another family member that's a veteran, stand up right now. Brothers and sisters, thank God for the veterans of this country, and they have paid for their health care in full for the rest of their lives. And thank you for serving your country. And you know, it is so good to be here with President Durkee, Secretary Treasurer Patelli, and all of my BCTGM brothers and sisters. You know, I had to practice that BCTGM, all these mergers, but dear God, those cookies look good on those tables out there. Now, you can tell this accent, I actually live in Silver Spring, Maryland, and people say, yeah, how long? I'm from North Carolina originally. Now, maybe 30 years ago, we had all these Marlboros laying on the table too. Do y'all remember those days? Yeah, I remember those. They'd always bring them to us. But those cookies do look damn good, and I'm taking a pack home with me, so y'all don't eat all of them. But brothers and sisters, I'm humbled to join you on this great occasion because you are some of the most hard-nosed, tough-as-nails, kick-ass union members on the face of this earth, and you've just been showing it right here. And I'm honored to be in your company, and I'm delighted to join my good friend, your International President, Dave Durkee, today. Now, Dave and I are not just union brothers. We are more like brothers from another mother. Now, I can promise you that. He and I both were elected as presidents of our union in 2012. And when I was elected AFGE National Secretary Treasurer in 2006, Dave had already been serving in the same position with BCTGM for 8 years. Together with CWA Secretary Treasurer Barbara Easterling, Dave and Barbara were my mentors. They taught me the ropes, brothers and sisters. Hey, I came from Kannapolis, North Carolina to D.C. God almighty, did I need somebody mentoring me? I can promise you that. They taught me the ropes. They were always there with advice and wisdom and support. And I will always be indebted to Dave for all the many ways he has helped me and continues to help AFGE in the spirit of solidarity. Dave is a comrade in arms, a visionary leader, a fighter who always has your back. While I know him and proud to call him as my friend, you are damn lucky to have him as your international president, brothers and sisters. Let's give it up for your president, my friend, Dave Durkee. I love you, brother. You know, I feel a great bond with BCTGM because of another friend and mentor that I have. And now we're going to see the real old-timers in the room here real quick. And that's the great T.J. Warren. If you know T.J. Warren, stand up, please. Aha, all right. You don't look that old, brother. Few of you know T.J. Well, now I want to tell you a little bit. Go ahead and sit down, but I want to tell you about T.J. As y'all can tell, and as I told you earlier, this accent is not from Silver Spring, Maryland. I grew up in North Carolina, and I came from a town called Kannapolis, home of Cannon Towels and Sheets, one of the longest textile organizing drives in the history of this country. My relatives worked for that company. They made a nickel above minimum wage. They had no retirement, almost no health care, and their response was, well, this company's been good to me because I get to buy towels and sheets at a discount. Well, that is a bunch of bull crap if I've ever heard it in my whole damn life. Now, I am telling you, is that the way you reward workers? No, you give them a pension, a defined benefit pension, the gift that keeps on giving. And as I was growing up in the ranks of my local at the Salisbury VA Medical Center and becoming very active in the North Carolina AFL-CIO, I had the singular privilege of getting to know T.J. Warren. He was the first vice president of the North Carolina AFL-CIO. And as many of you know, TJ is a force of nature. And I know my brothers here know that on the front row. And an inspiration to anyone fortunate enough to cross his path. Of course, he is a union brother through and through at his local, at the state fed, at the BCTGM internationally, and a fierce advocate for his fellow tobacco workers. But he also recognized that in an anti-union state like North Carolina, labor needed strong community allies. And he was just as much an activist within the NAACP, the A. Philip Randolph Institute, his church, and other community groups as he was in his union. The bridges he built between labor, community, church, and politics formed the framework for what I have tried to achieve at AFGE. And I am grateful, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. T.J. Warren put hours of time and energy into me that helped me become the national president of AFGE and spent time mentoring me. And that's what we need to be doing for future union leaders all over this country, no matter what union they're a part of or what union they're going to be a part of or what union they're willing and ready and able to form and join. But you know, something else. I got all this love for my brother Dave over here and all this love for TJ. But what I like best of all about BCTGM, that you are a kick-ass union, brothers and sisters. That's what you are. You've been kicking those people with the Oreo cookie folks to hell and back, and keep it up. I go to the giant grocery store, and they kind of cringe nowadays when I go in because they know I'm going to go pull those graham crackers off the shelf and I'm going to start acting out. And I get all the UFCW people there. My wife, sometimes sitting in the back of the room, says, do you mind if I just wait in the car? And then, you know, she realizes they call in the cops, and she'll come on in and you know, say, you know, he gets a little out of control. Sometimes he don't take his medicine or something like that. But, you know, kicking ass is what unions have got to do, and you're doing it, BCTGM. Keep it up. In recent decades, haven't been easy for you. They haven't. Not only facing the challenges all unions must address, but also the devastation of tobacco, the globalization of the industries, and the struggles of many pension funds. But whatever obstacles you face, whatever hurdles you must leap over, whatever burdens you must bear, you do not make excuses, you take actions. You don't wallow in self-pity, you fight back. You don't fear getting knocked down, you take it to your opposition. And most of all, brothers and sisters, you don't mourn, you organize, 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 because that's what the labor union movement is supposed to be doing. So my brothers and sisters at BCTGM, I have 2 words for you. Thank you. And 5 more, keep up the great work because our movement needs it. Our movement needs you and what you are doing. Now we're going to need even greater work and more work in the weeks and months to come because we face a group of obscenely wealthy, power-hungry ultra-greedy people and corporations who are aiming all their firepower at destroying the labor movement, destroying the rights and living standards of working families, and destroying democracy itself. Yes, brothers and sisters, I am a registered nurse. There's a lot of anal orifices out there. I prefer to call them the assholes that they really are. And there's a few of them heading up Nabisco Mondelez, and I'll call them that right square to their face, and call me next time. I'm not afraid to go to jail, Dave. And if they run over me with a truck or something, I'm a nurse. I know how to give CPR to my own self. You know, brothers and sisters, this is not a new phenomenon. The war on workers has been going on ever since Ronald Reagan killed Patco in 1981. It's escalated with union busting on steroids, with passage of right-to-work for less laws, with the stacking of labor boards and the courts with anti-worker stooges, with the attacks on collective bargaining rights at every single level. But yesterday, brothers and sisters, we kicked their ass in Missouri, did we not? We kicked their ass and we won. We won. When union people get up off their ass, they can kick ass. It's kind of hard to kick some ass if you're sitting down, moaning, groaning, bitching, and griping. And the one thing you leave today from me, get up off your ass and do something. Do something for this movement. Do something because our kids and our grandkids need a labor movement in this country so that they have good jobs and good pay and good pensions. You know, now let's talk about where we're at in this modern-day robber baron world. We got the Koch brothers, we got the Mercers, we got the Waltons, and the massive right-wing industrial complex that they built, ranging from the Heritage Foundation to Notorious Alec, from the Freedom Foundation and Americans for Prosperity to Fox News and, yes, Breitbart. All of them, brothers and sisters, and their toxic agenda is being implemented by the worst politicians money can buy. Politicians who are running the show at both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue, most state capitals, and the judiciary also. As a result, America is looking less like a democracy and more like an autocracy with each passing day. Consider this. When we've got someone in the White House who lost by 3 million votes, who benefited from a hostile foreign powers interference in the election, and who acts if he is owned lock, stock, and barrel by Vladimir Putin, you know, that's what we got, brothers and sisters. We've got most U.S. House districts drawn to keep anti-worker hacks in office, no matter how popular the will of the people may be. They're drawn to keep them there. We've got millions of people of color, the old and young, being denied the right to vote. We've got the Supreme Court, thanks to a stolen seat, making the entire public sector right to work, and I prefer to call it right to work for less, in this appalling Janus ruling. And groups like the so-called Freedom Foundation are now going door to door telling union members to stop paying dues and to be a free rider. Well, I ain't got no damn use for a scab, brothers and sisters. How about y'all? Not none, not now, and not ever. You've got to ante up, you've got to pay. And yet these laws and rulings that they put in, you know, is a vice. And we've got Citizens United unleashing unlimited corporate spending, tilting the playing field near 90 degrees. So the system is rigged, and it's led to the rise of what I like to call the leech system. And you all know what those leeches are. They're just blood-sucking son of a guns. I can tell you that. Y'all thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? I will before it's over with. Get ready. These are the super wealthy corporations and individuals who are sucking the lifeblood out of our government, our democracy, and the middle class. They sucked $1.5 trillion out of the U.S. Treasury last year through a tax scam that they eluded the federal government for the benefit of a chosen few. They're trying to suck billions more dollars away from our members by privatizing everything they can, from Social Security to veterans' health care. They're trying to suck away the pay, benefits, and collective bargaining rights of all workers. And they're trying to suck the lifeblood out of our unions. Well, brothers and sisters, what are we going to do about these leeches? Are we going to stomp them, brothers and sisters? Are we going to crush them, brothers and sisters? Are we going to destroy them, brothers and sisters? Not yes, but hell yeah, we're going to destroy them in. We are going to take them on, and we are going to win. Now, this leech class pretty much owns about half of the United States Congress. They pack the cabinet with their industrial flacks and political hacks dedicated to the destruction of the agencies. They're following the Koch brothers' agenda to the letter. They have the same sense of entitlement as looters, and there's nothing out of bounds for them. If there's a precedent, they'll ignore it. If there's norm, they'll shatter it. If there's a rule, they'll break it. And here's the thing, they're not stupid. They're not stupid, and they got more money than God. They have, brothers and sisters, and they've got a plan. And its centerpiece is to wipe out all unions, not just AFGE, not just BCTGM, not ASME, not laborers, not all of us. That's their plan. But AFGE is their bullseye right now because they hate government and they hate unions, and we're both. That's what we are, brothers and sisters. AFGE members are going to process your Social Security checks. AFGE members are right now in a VA hospital holding the hand of a veteran taking their last breath. AFGE members made sure that that food that you ate for lunch was inspected and was safe for you to eat. AFGE members enforce all OSHA and safety rules in your plants and your factories where you work, that you have safe working conditions. AFGE members make sure that we don't see the air that we breathe and that the water that we drink doesn't kill us. That's what AFGE members do. Government is good, and government does a lot of good things for people, brothers and sisters. And when people want to start talking about, oh, let's get government off our back, and all these people that are on Medicaid and so forth, most of the people on Medicaid are elderly white women in nursing homes. And do we want to throw our mothers and our grandmothers out in the street? That's what they want to do. That's what AFGE members are doing on their job every day. And they hate us because we're government, and they hate us because we're union. And Memorial Day weekend, this administration issued 3 executive orders that are an abomination to all of us that are United States citizens. One guts collective bargaining rights of federal workers. One takes away our ability to represent at the work site, and one lets them fire us at will, making all of us at-will employees. These 3 union-busting executive orders, brothers and sisters, AFGE don't just say no, but the entire labor movement, including your union, has said not no, but hell no, and thank you for being a part and standing with us strong and firm. And I'm going to give this side of the room at the front the nice compliment because they got the memo that every Wednesday from henceforth until we get relief from these executive orders is called Red for Feds Day. So thank y'all for getting the memo and reading the memo over here. All right. But we asked you as we have stood with you, with your Nabisco Mondelez, we asked you to stand with us every Wednesday from henceforth. wear something red and tell people you're wearing red for feds. Red, that federal employees deserve collective bargaining, deserve due process rights, deserve to have a union, and deserve fair treatment at the workplace, and they deserve to have the union of their choosing to represent them, brothers and sisters. So get in that fight with us. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you know, many of you may have heard of a legal term called fruit of the poison tree. In court, it denies the use of any evidence obtained through unlawful means, but it applies to every action of Donald Trump, our illegitimate elected Russian first president who went to Moscow, and in the words of former CIA Director John Brennan, was nothing short of treasonous. Now, y'all can tell I don't like that man, don't you? You can tell I don't like that man at all. And these executive orders are fruit of the poison tree. The Supreme Court nominations of Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh are fruit of the poison tree. His appointments to the NLRB are fruit of the poison tree. And every single action taken in the name of Donald Trump is fruit of the poison tree, and it's up to us to reverse every one of these actions. And that means taking on Goliath. Well, his name's David and my name's David, and let me tell you one thing, we're joining together, and we are not scared of no damn Goliath, brothers and sisters. We'll take the son of a bitch on. And you know, we'll see how many of y'all went to Sunday school like me. I ain't going down to no stream with my slingshot and picking up some smooth stones. I'm planning on getting my foot in order, and I'm planning on kicking ass every time I get the chance for him. Brothers and sisters, we're going to do whatever we got to do, because it means confronting not just Trump and his entire political party marching in lockstep with the Russian first president and the entire leech class. So what is our plan to take down Goliath? At AFGE, we're organizing. Sometimes we're doing that more than anything else, which is why we're one of the handful of unions that is growing year after year. We are up to 318,000 members, a record for us, and we're doing every ounce of it in an open shop environment, brothers and sisters. And we're helping other public sector unions to do the same in this post-Janus world. And there's not one single problem in this country that cannot be corrected with having more union members. The answer to every problem, to pensions, to fair pay, end of discrimination, workplace treatment, health and safety is having more union members in this country, brothers and sisters. That's why our battle cry has to be organize, 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 or we will die. And we're also trying to turn every member in AFGE into an activist, trying to become a union whose power comes from the actions by a high number of very engaged members. We're trying to get all of our members to engage in resistance, lobbying, organizing, and fighting. We have a model of what our union needs to be, and it comes from West Virginia, Arizona, and Oklahoma teachers, brothers and sisters. We saw them get their act together and win. That's what we have got to do. They came out in force, in the streets, on the picket lines, in the churches, in the community, in the media, in their state capitals. And these deep red states run by the same leech class extremists as Donald Trump's administration. And they won, brothers and sisters. They won. They won. That's where we got to be. That's what we've got to do. The fact is this. We've only scratched the surface of our potential in AFGE, and you've only scratched the surface of your potential at BCTGM. Our strength is our solidarity, our spirit, and I dare say that we have morality and justice on our side, brothers and sisters. The fact is that we do have power. Power in numbers, power in members, power in activism, power in militancy, power in dignity, and power in righteousness. We just have to mobilize that power, unleash it, and let it loose upon the world. We must persuade every union member and every worker who wants to be a union member to act, to march, to organize, to attend rallies, to work phone banks, to go door to door, to speak up and to speak out, to unlock the greatness that lies within all of us. So BCTGM, I want you to stand up, and I want you to stand up right now. I want to hear you from the rooftops. Are you going to fight back with everything you've got and fight back until we win? Are you going to stand united in solidarity with all brothers and sisters, no matter what union they're in? Are you going to take back the Congress of the United States for working families? Are you going to stomp, crash, and destroy this leech class? Are you going to open up one gigantic can of whoop ass on all these assholes? Well, brothers and sisters, we're going to do it in solidarity, and we're going to win. And thank you so much for letting me be here. And God bless all of you. God bless the American labor movement. And God bless BCTGM.